Sometimes the best stories aren't planned at all. They just happen. Today we're going to break down this amazing collaborative storytelling session to see how a wild survival story came to life, all in real time, all because of one totally unexpected moment.
I mean, talk about prophetic, right? This comment was made just moments before the story even kicked off. It was just some casual banter, But wow, it ended up setting the stage for all the chaos that was about to go down in their story.
And bam, just like that, this very real fear, the big one earthquake everyone in the Pacific Northwest worries about, it goes from just an off-the-cuff remark to the absolute city-shattering core of their entire story.
Okay, so here's where it all kicks off. The big one actually hits Portland. We're talking a massive magnitude 9.0 earthquake. The city just crumbles. And in that first chaotic moment, our main characters get split into two totally separate groups, stuck on opposite sides of the river.
So here's the breakdown of who's where. The Willamette River has basically cut the city in half. Over on the west side, at the zoo, you've got Joshua and Undertaker. Then way over on the east side, at this place called Edgefield, are Stefan, Zane, and Matt. And the key thing here? Neither group has a clue what's happened to the other. They're totally in the dark.
All right, let's stick with the West Side crew for a minute. For them, stuck at the zoo, the problem wasn't just the shaking ground and the aftershocks. No, their first real fight was against something much more primal and definitely supernatural.
You see, one of the characters, Undertaker, is a vampire. And all that chaos and trauma, it triggers something inside him. A dangerous primal instinct they called the beast. It's like this inner monster that just takes over, throwing all logic out the window and pushing him to do something violent to feed this sudden, overwhelming hunger.
So, there in the ruins of what used to be the elephant enclosure, Undertaker is just completely driven by this instinct he can't fight. This isn't some thought-out plan, you guys. It is pure, raw survival. It's a totally desperate act where his vampire nature just completely takes the wheel in the middle of this disaster. And if that wasn't enough, this supernatural raven shows up, basically telling them to get out, now.
Okay, now let's jump across the river to the east side. While the zoo crew was fighting their inner demons, literally, the group at Edgefield, well, their first big problem was terrifyingly human.
So the character Stefan is also hit with a supernatural compulsion, but for him, it's pure paranoia. He's the one driving, and he's just flying through the ruined city, totally erratic. All he can think about is escape. He's completely ignoring the chaos around him, and even his own friends in the car begging him to stop and help people.
And this line from Matt, it just cuts right to the heart of the conflict in that car, doesn't it? You've got this basic human instinct to stop and help when you see people suffering, and it's slamming right up against this powerful, supernatural paranoia that's just screaming, run!
So while they're trying to weave through these streets full of rubble, a voice crackles over an emergency broadcast on the radio, and a single piece of news comes through that turns their frantic escape into an absolute strategic nightmare.
And this is the moment that changes everything for them. It's the official word, the confirmation of their absolute worst fear. They are totally, completely cut off. Their homes, their friends, their safe places, everything is on the other side of a river they can't cross.
So, as this horrifying new reality starts to sink in, both groups on both sides of the river start to take stock of what's going on. And when they do, they realize just how bad things really are.
Okay, to really get how high the stakes are here, you need to know what a haven is in this story. For the vampire characters, a haven is not just a house, it's their life support. It's a secure, fortified shelter they have to survive the sunlight. So losing your haven? Yeah, that's pretty much a death sentence.
And this is where you see just how completely screwed they are. Look at this. On the west side, Joshua's haven is literally a pile of dust and rebar. Undertaker's is impossible to get to, blocked by a fire and a massive landslide. Then on the east side, both Stefan and Zane's havens might as well be on the moon. They're on the other side of the river. The bottom line, not a single one of them can get to safety. They are all exposed.
So every official route is gone. The sun is coming up, which is a huge problem. So what do? Well, both groups, without talking to each other at all, come to the exact same dangerous and desperate conclusion.
This really becomes the one question that matters. It's driving every single character as the night goes on, because their survival literally depends on it. How in the world do you cross a river when all the bridges are gone?
And then, out of all that chaos, an answer starts to take shape. A sort of black market taxi service springs up on the riverbanks. You've got people with any little boat they can find, fishing boats, whatever, and they start offering to ferry people across the dark water. But it's going to cost you.
And this is what leads to the absolute peak of the whole session. A moment of pure, beautiful, unscripted irony that nobody planned. It just happened.
So picture this. You have two groups. They're on opposite banks of the same river. And they have the exact same goal. Get to the other side. That's where they think safety is. That's where they think their friends are.
So Joshua and Undertaker, they find a boat and start heading east. At pretty much the exact same time, Stefan, Zane, and Matt get into another boat and head west. And somewhere in the dark, out on that chaotic river, the two boats just pass each other. And nobody has any idea how close they just came to finding each other.
And that's the gut punch, right? The beautiful, tragic irony of it all. The one thing they did to solve their problem, crossing the river, is the very thing that's now sending them further apart than ever. Think about it. Each group is now sailing straight into the danger the other one just ran away from.
This is what's so incredible about it, you know? Nobody wrote this. It wasn't in a script. This perfect, tense, ironic moment just grew organically out of the chaos. It happened because of the desperate but logical choices that every single player made under all that pressure. That, right there, is emergent storytelling at its absolute best.
And that's where they left it. The session just ends right there, on that insane cliffhanger. Both groups think they've solved their immediate problem, but what they've really done is create a much, much bigger one. It leaves everyone, the players and anyone watching, just asking, what are the consequences of that near miss? What on earth happens next when the sun finally comes up on that broken city?